Years before it happened, Super Bowl's halftime show. In 2012, the show did an episode featuring the very over-the-top artist Lady Gaga.
What the heck?
In a town
Is that gonna happen in real life?
of Springfield, but her performance was done nearly entirely in midair. Fast forward to 2017, and Lady Gaga was asked to go and do the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yo, what's good guys? Kelvin here. Today we're gonna be looking at 15 more times Simpsons predicted the future. Man, how I wish I can predict the future so I can buy some stocks. You know? Hopefully you guys can get this video an early thumbs up. Really help out the channel. And yeah, let's get right in with the
I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
A new disease. No one's immune.
No, we just have to blame it on something that's in every household. House cat flu is coming.
The Simpsons are known for predicting the future on more than several occasions. And as the years pass, you may be wondering if they've hit the bullseye once again. Well, make sure you watch the entire video because to no surprise, the Simpsons managed to predict the future again. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Disney buys Fox.
Proud addition to the Disney family and soon appearing on Disney Plus. I, for one, salute our new corporate overlords.
In terms of entertainment, Disney is king. But that's honestly because they've been buying all sorts of extensions for themselves over the last 10 years. Do you want to win any of these items on the screen?
What the
If so,
heck?
be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the
That
hidden
was
message.
so
They
random.
bought Marvel Comics. They bought Lucasfilm. And now, they're a little under 2 months away from officially owning Fox and all of its properties, which is a huge get, and one that would be shocking if The Simpsons didn't predict in 1998. The
Wow.
episode, When You Dish Upon a Star, has Homer making a movie script and actually getting picked up by Ron Howard and Brian Gazer. As we go to the movie studio, we see that it got backing from 20th Century Fox, but under the logo 20th Century Fox are the words, a division of Walt Disney Co. Yup.
Wow, that is amazing. They were able to predict a company buying another company in 1999. Right now it's 2020. They can see the future 20 years ahead.
They knew that Disney would buy the company 20 years before it happened. Super Bowl's halftime show. In 2012, the show did an episode featuring the very over-the-top artist Lady Gaga. And
What
she did
the
a
heck?
performance in a town
Is Lady Gaga shooting out flamethrowers out of her breast? Wow. Would you like to see a show like that? Man, I would like to see it. That look very interesting. Is that gonna happen in real life?
of Springfield, but her performance was done nearly entirely in midair. Fast forward to 2017, and Lady Gaga was asked to go and do the Super Bowl halftime show. And to start the entire thing off, she jumped off the roof of the entire stadium. It was staged, obviously, but the fact that this happened at all
Yeah, that is amazing. It's pretty similar situation. The only difference is she did not wear this special bra right there. It's still very interesting, and the only difference it might be also the hair too.
and resembled parts of what she did in Springfield is very weird. Maybe she remembered the episode and decided to
Oh,
mirror
what
it,
the
but it
heck?
doesn't happened when Lady Gaga is concerned. eBay trouble. When you have a comedy like The Simpsons that can poke fun of anything and everything, you'll find there are tiny jokes lodged at institutions and even other countries everywhere. And this was shown in full in season 23 during a scrolling marquee. Homer Simpson is invited to be a guest on the TV show Headbutt, and during the episode, the lower ticker has a gag that reads, "Europe puts Greece on eBay." It's a throwaway gag about the country's debt. However, in 2015, Greece defaulted on its debt, and the country is still having financial troubles today. To be clear, Greece was having financial troubles at the time of the episode back in 2012, but their prediction of the eBay sale was technically right because of the defaulting. And it's these little jokes and gags that prove why many people pay attention to The Simpsons, because they get a lot right.
That
Nobel
is
Peace
interesting.
Prize. Let's start off with a basic
Nobel
one,
Peace
shall we?
Prize.
Lisa Martin, Database, and Milhouse had a betting pool for the Nobel Prize in a 2010 episode, season 22, episode 1 to be exact. If you look to the right of the red circle, you'll notice Milhouse picked Bengt R. Holstrom to win the prize for economics. In 2016, Holstrom actually won that prize.
Yo!
That's one heck of a coincidence. And obviously, when it comes to the Nobel Peace Prize, certain people are nominated year after year.
Wait, that's a Chinese character. It says about something about school.
for their accomplishments. Sigmund Freud, for example, was nominated 13 times, though he never did win. Anyway, it's kind of funny to see that they were able to pick a winner from the future. Makes you wonder what other guesses involving people they've done. FIFA corruption scandal.
I am the executive vice president, what you Americans call soccer. I see that
I
I
love the
myself am
accent.
about to be arrested for corruption.
Oh.
Unlike the previous entry, this one was not only accurate, it was timely. This particular prediction came in 2014 in season 25, episode 16. Lisa gives a speech about her father being a hero, which goes viral. Because of this, Homer is asked to referee games at the World Cup in Brazil. Homer refuses bribes to fix games, as corruption seems to be rampant at the World Cup. In 2015, it was revealed that certain bodies within FIFA were involved in bribery, fraud, and money laundering. I know that this kind of thing may seem small time compared to all the other scandals that we've gone through, but trust me when I say that this was a big deal at the time, and is still a big deal to this day. FIFA isn't just a soccer organization, it's one that encapsulates the world in a way that is even bigger than the NFL, NBA, MLB, and more.
Yeah, you gotta admit one thing, okay? More people watch soccer matches than basketball, football, or baseball. You know, soccer is like a universal sport. There's definitely some bribing going on inside the executive, you know, to make some dirty money.
The world in a way that is even bigger than the NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. Numerous countries and people were affected by this scandal, and it made the revelation of it all the more shocking, and the fallout of it all the more important. You almost have to think that the Simpsons writers knew something would happen with FIFA before making this episode, but obviously we can't prove that. But again, to do this episode and then next year have it be revealed as true, it's pretty insane. Higgs boson. One of the biggest and most important things about the Simpsons is that Homer is an idiot, and has been for most of the series, and yet Homer Simpson almost predicted the mass of elementary particles, the Higgs boson, more than a decade before it was discovered, according to a book on
No
maths
way.
in The Simpsons. In the episode The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, aired in 1998, Homer becomes an inventor and is shown in front of a blackboard with a complicated equation. This may seem like basic stuff, and you'd think that the equation that was on the blackboard had a secret message or was written in a way that mathematicians could say, yeah, that's a real formula, or something like that, right? Except it was real, and in 2012, it was almost spot on for the actual formula that predicted the mass of the Higgs boson particle. That equation predicts the mass of the Higgs boson. Writer Simon Singh said, if you work it out, you can get the mass of a Higgs boson that's only a bit larger than the nanomass of a Higgs boson actually is. It's kind of amazing, as Homer makes this prediction 14 years before it was discovered. That is one weird and freaky coincidence.
Wow, he just predicted the math equation when it's even not discovered, and people say he is a dumb person. Man, that is crazy. But here's the thing, right? This guy, he is a genius, right? He basically invented the formula. But the thing is, he got a very interesting hairstyle. Do have a mohawk, bro.
It's been proven multiple times that there are plenty of math geeks on the Simpsons writer staff, and so there's no doubt they put their heads together to make that equation. But to be able to basically predict the mass of a particle over a decade before accredited scientists figured it out, I think we should give them a Nobel Peace Prize. Right?
Yes, for
Autocorrect.
sure.
Oh yeah, this is a shout out to everyone who has had frustrations with autocorrect, smartphones in general, and just trying to get your device to understand what you're saying or thinking. School bullies, Tierney and Dolph take a memo to beat up Martin on a Newton device in an episode of The Simpsons that aired in 1994. The memo gets quickly translated to eat up Martha, an early foreshadowing of autocorrect frustrations. The Simpsons was lampooning Apple's underwhelming Newton, the iPhone's ancient ancestor, that had just been released and included shoddy handwriting recognition, according to Fast Company. Nitin Gantra, former director of engineering iOS applications at Apple, told Fast Company that this particular moment on The Simpsons served as inspiration to get the iPhone keyboard right. Smartwatch.
Whoa.
An important thing that you need to remember is that The Simpsons premiered in December of 1989, so a lot of what they were doing was based on both their present and what the writers perceived the future would be like. For example, in 1995, cell phones weren't really a thing in the mass market yet, and the idea of a phone being put into a watch was unheard of, except for in The Simpsons, that is. During season 6, a future timeline showed Lisa with a husband, and that husband had a smartwatch on, and that smartwatch had the ability to take orders from Hugh, Lisa's husband, and give orders to other people. Fast forward
Spot
to
on.
2014, and the first smartwatches were born and released to the public, and with each passing year, they got stronger in function and are able to do more, and the sky is literally the limit for them right now. Domino's even made it to where you could go and use your smartwatch to order a pizza from them, which obviously the writers of The Simpsons couldn't have known about it back in 1995, but maybe they just felt that this was where everything was going, and thus decided to do their own
Look at this. Look at the watch. It literally looking like a little baby phone. It got the flip screen and the keyboard and everything. This look way more futuristic, you know. Man, that is amazing. They can predict something like that, you know.
Never forget, Star Trek was the literal birthplace of cell phones because of the communicators they had on the show. So who's to say they didn't look at The Simpsons during this episode and go, yeah, we can do that. The Rolling Stones. Here's actually another future prediction come true from the very same episode. During Lisa's wedding, we get to look at the room her and Hugh share, and on the wall of the room is a poster that reads, The Rolling Stones Steel Wheelchair Tour. Obviously, this is a dig at the age of the Rolling Stones back in 1995 and how they would likely still be performing in 2010 when the episode took place. And they were right. Not only were the Stones still going in 2010, they were still making waves. For example, a few years before the deadline that episode laid out, the Rolling Stones were headliners at the Super Bowl 35 back in 2006. And
they
yeah,
are
the
popular.
Rolling Stones are still going at it today. This goes to show that they can still get some satisfaction. And the Simpsons can get satisfaction that they were correct in yet another prediction. And it wouldn't be their last one in terms of musical talent, albeit from a much newer source and one who isn't quite as old as Mick Jagger. Las Vegas. Sometimes it's honestly rather scary how accurate the Simpsons get in their predictions, especially when it comes to tragedies that actually occur. In 1993, during the 5th season, they had an episode called Springfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling. Basically, Mr. Burns had legalized gambling in Springfield and opened up a casino to prove how much money he could make. And in that casino was a couple of performers, Gunter and Ernst. And it was oh so obvious that these two were meant to spoof the legendary Vegas duo, Siegfried and Roy. During the episode, one of the duo actually got attacked by one of their pet tigers. A hilarious bit for the show, no doubt, until it became real 10 years later. In 2003, Roy Horn was indeed attacked by one of the tigers that they had performed with time and time again. The mauling was so bad that it ended their careers and Roy was severely hurt. There's a lot of controversy still surrounding what happened, but there's no denying that the Simpsons were uncannily accurate with how it would go down.
Dang, that tiger is humongous. You would hurt him pretty bad.
I didn't vote for him. Elections are something that every sitcom or animated series set in the real world tries to make fun of, and the big one is coming later. And The Simpsons were no different. In 2008, the show decided to do an episode that featured not just voting, but voting via an electronic machine. This was a big setup for the world following the 2000 presidential controversy in Florida, where votes were recounted because of incorrect marking. And so surely an electronic solution would work better, as there is no way a system like that could fail, right? Well, the Simpsons team knew the flaws in that system, so during the 2008 election, they had Homer use one of these machines to go and vote for Barack Obama. Except that when he pushed the sensor for Obama, the vote tallied up for John McCain instead, and of course hijinks ensued. Fast forward a mere 4 years later to the 2012 election, and a very similar thing happened. One of the electronic voting machines wasn't calibrated properly, and due to this, it took a vote for Barack Obama and tallied it for his opponent, Mitt Romney, instead. Obviously, this was a big scandal and it had to be fixed, and yet when people looked back at the episode, it was uncannily accurate again.
What
These
the
are the predictions
heck?
that weird people out, because when you predict something like a Nobel Peace Prize winner or the creation of smartwatches, those are honestly lucky guesses. But to get something like this, yeah, that's something. Mutated tomatoes. During the episode E.I.E.I. Annoyed Grunt, the Simpsons got themselves a farm and decided to go and grow tomatoes. But in the process of growing them, Homer actually used nuclear power to fuse tomatoes with tobacco. Because he did this, the tomatoes actually became highly addictive, and when they grew, they were giant and deformed. Surely nothing like this would happen in real life, right? Wrong. Because
No way.
when the episode aired in 1999, around 2013, a field of tomatoes in Japan were found to have grown to an enormous size that didn't make any sense. It was found out that the tomatoes were actually a result of contamination from the nearby nuclear power plant. And thankfully they weren't addictive, but the fact still remains that this kind of deformed tomato still happened. There's also a lot of controversy
What
over
the
genetically
heck?
engineered tomatoes that have
That's
been
a
grown by
purple
certain
tomato.
companies, which no doubt could go the Homer Simpson route if they wanted to. Game of Thrones. This one is too good not to mention. Game of Thrones for years was the best show on television. The adaptation of the works of George R.R. Martin had many fans gripped for years and frequently tuning into HBO when the new season dropped so that they could watch the next episode. However, by the time season 6 and 7, they had run out of source material because Martin hadn't finished the book series. In fact, season 8 of the series is the most hated of the series, and the series finale is rated one of the most hated series finales of all time. You see where this is going, right? Yeah, The Simpsons predicted the big twist in season 8. In 2017, on a season 29 episode of The Simpsons titled The Surf Son, which spoofed various aspects of Game of Thrones, including the Three-Eyed Raven and the Night King, Homer revives a dragon that proceeds to incinerate a village. Up until that point, the dragons of Daenerys had only burned certain things, not whole villages. But this was clearly different, and the positioning of the shot is not alone like
What
the
the?
shots or
What the? That is
She
crazy.
watched
They literally predicted the same thing. Holy.
the dragon, Drogon, burned down King's Landing. The NSA spying on us. One of the biggest controversies in the world right now is that of the government watching us from all sources. Our phones, our computers, even our televisions at times. And all of these spying endeavors can often be traced back to the NSA. While in the 2007 big budget project, the Simpsons movie, Homer and the family have to go on the run after an incident at a nearby lake. But while they're fleeing by bus, the NSA actually hacks into the bus driver, who was a robot, just so you know, so that they could listen in on their conversation.
I don't know if I'm ready to laugh yet. You hang up first.
Oh, you hang up first.
Okay.
6 years later, in 2013, Edward Snowden revealed to the world that the NSA was indeed listening to people's conversations, and that drove the world nuts in many ways. President Trump. There are some out there who still can't believe that Donald Trump won the 2016 elections to become the president of the United States. But all the way back in 2000, The Simpsons thought it could happen, and they played it big. This was in the episode Bart to the Future, and featured another future timeline, in which Lisa was actually the president of the United States, and she said lines that indicated that the billionaire businessman was indeed the president before her. But was it just a joke meant to be funny? Not according to the writers. They actually did the episode as a kind of warning to America. That just seemed like the logical last step before hitting bottom, the writer said. It was pitched because it was consistent with the vision of America going insane. Matt Groening was asked about this, and he recalled why Trump was picked then and why it's even more ironic now. Trump was, of course, the most absurd placeholder joke name that we could think of at the time, and that's still true. It's beyond satire. Indeed, Trump's current reign as president has been one full of controversy and chaos, and that's to put things lightly. You almost have to wonder what would have happened if we had learned from The Simpsons all those years ago. And there you have it, 15 times The Simpsons predicted the future. Can you believe that they got this much right? Which of these predictions are the most insane to you? Which ones made your jaw drop when you heard them? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe.
The one that made my jaw drop is when President Trump became the actual president of the United States. Wow, that is amazing. They predicted that like super early. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, don't forget to give this video an early thumbs up and make sure to get that subscribe button, turn on that bell notification in my social media description below. And yeah, my name is Kelvin. I see you guys next video.